There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous, my defense is impregnable, and I'm just ferocious.
You are now tuned in to the Ether Networks. Live.
Yes, sir. It's your boy CP. It's the exclusive on the Ether Network. November 11th, 2016. We have. You know what? No, we're not gonna go there yet. We're not gonna go there yet.
Today his name is not CP.
What is
today it? His name is Mr. Prez.
Yeah, that's what it's gonna be.
That's what it's always been. So why change it today? Amen.
I have a bunch of names, but I want to give a shout out to Tech Busters. Tech Busters, if you need high quality computer repair services, look no further. We can remove viruses, install Windows or Linux. Located at 2523 US Highway 27 South, Suite 203, Avon Park, Florida. For more information, find them on Facebook. Tech Busters, PC repair, and more. Shout out to Michael Murphy, who built my computer that we're using right now.
Shout out to Michael.
Michael Murphy, that's my guy. Today, my guest has been a friend of mine for some years now. Yeah. I remember when he told me he was signing up to take classes at Full Sail.
That was wild.
And from there, he has gone to do great things, like create a conglomerate as Hip Hop Everything, the Indie Hotspot, and HHE Radio. He's built relationships with media giants such as Stable Music Group, Team Bigger Ranking, Fab Lane, Yoshi Crew, The Promo Vatican, Southrageous Entertainment, and Creative Misfits in Orlando. Also featured on HHE Radio.
Yes.
My special guest today, the music mogul, ITZ Draco. It's Draco.
Yeah.
What's up, my guy? Thanks for coming through.
Sir, thank you.
Yes,
Thanks for having me, man. I feel like a great guy today. I'm blessed for the opportunity.
Every day is a holiday.
Yeah. Oh man, that's one thing I always try to bring to the table is that positivity. You know what I'm saying? There's too much negativity going on around today, and if you know about me, that's one thing. I turn up or bring positive energy, and that's what we
need. We need that. There's too much negativity going around, so positive is always a light in the dark room.
Yes,
so
sir.
When the positive come in, the darkness have to go.
Man, but before we start, man. Thank you for having me, man.
Oh yeah, thanks for coming.
I've been watching your movement, and like you once told me over the phone, Draco from the outside looking in, man. You remember that?
I do.
Now it's my turn to return the favor and let you know it's blossoming. So with that being said, I'm proud to have the opportunity to participate with what you got going on.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
The Ether Networks, everybody. Corey Presley, Mr. Prez in the house.
I'm just a squirrel. It's your world.
Stop it. Okay. Homie, so what's good?
My guy, where do we begin? Let's start at the beginning. How did you get to Florida?
Good question. So, born in New York. A lot of people don't know that. But
I just found that out myself.
Born in New York, Brooklyn to be exact. Actually, if I want to be precise, but I was born in Lenox Hill Hospital in Manhattan. But I want to say somewhere around the age of 6 or 7, my mom took us all when we moved to Puerto Rico. Shout out to my Puerto Ricans. Shout out to everybody in Salinas. Shout out to everybody in Aguirre. That's my squad right there. Much love to everybody. Although you haven't seen my face in a long time, please know that I keep you guys close to the heart. So yeah, I moved to Puerto Rico. I got left back a year in school because all I knew how to say in Spanish was chancleta, pollo, sofrito. I thought I had it popping, but no, I went to school and was like, no, left back. The whole school system, you know what I'm saying? I did Puerto Rico all the way through high school, finish high school in Puerto Rico.
Did you have to take Spanish in Puerto Rico?
That's the thing. There's no Spanish per se class to teach somebody that don't know any. They got a Spanish class set up to teach people who know Spanish how to do it correctly.
Mhm.
But for that reason is why we got left back. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So
Okay.
it is what it is. Shout out to
sounds
Wildro Wilson Elementary School and Aguirre.
Mhm.
Well, we all been through there. You know what I'm talking about. So from Puerto Rico, we went to the main town, Salinas, de my high school, Stella Marquez High School. Shout out to everybody who remembers that name. And from there, I went to the Army. I signed up.
I seen
and,
the pictures.
Yeah.
Standing
Shout
by the-
out to
standing by the
all the
tank.
veterans who actually had the courage to put
Happy
their name on
Veterans
the
Day.
dotted line, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
Put your life on the line.
I did 3 years and I got out. I had dreams. But I have a lot of respect for everybody who stood there. And I say that because when I left a crew. You know, I had family, I had people out there, and till today they're still in there, you know. So
It's a brotherhood with you guys.
You know, and I see them ranking up, you know, going through these wars, coming back home and handling business. And I'm just like, wow, you know. So salute. My heart goes out to you guys. Real talk. John Goody, Sassoon. I mean, I can name names forever. Molina, shout out to Molina. So we did the whole Army thing, man. I joined up. I was a 13 Bravo artillery, okay, shooting tanks. Did my basic training in Fort Sill, Oklahoma.
I gotta ask you about that later.
Okay.
Off the.
Fort Sill, Oklahoma, basic training, 13 Bravo artillery. You know, and then from there, they sent my ass to Korea, Camp Hovey, Korea. Okay, I did a whole year out there. I did not take any vacation. I actually took the 12 months to the head.
Did you do any actual war?
You know, although Korea was a war-ready, you know, place, because that's what it was, right? You know, they treat it like that. Like at any given moment, you know,
jump off.
It'll be 2 o'clock in the morning. You'll be in the club, and they throw that siren on.
It's time to go.
Yes. Everybody,
serious.
Go to your battalion. Go to your squad. Get your uniform on. Go to the armory. Get your weapons, and then go to the mortar pool and start your tank up and await fucking you know, destination, longitudes and latitudes, because we were riding out. And every time they did it in Korea, we rode out for like 2 hours, went to a different spot where there was nothing around, just mountains, and we were there for like a month, 3 weeks, 4 weeks at a time, blowing up mountains and stuff.
Sound like fun.
So yes, when I got there, you know, I got there at the right time, because there was like this competition going on to be the #1 guy, and that's the guy who actually shoots the tank, handles the missiles, and I participated in all that, and I was the #1 man. And yes, I handled that. So the little picture I put out there today, you'll see on the bottom left corner, that's me inside the tank. That little blue thing you see in there, that's actually a missile. So we handled business in Korea. That was
Are those air conditioned?
You know, I don't think they were. You know, you probably had like a little fan hanging off the wall.
I can't do it.
Can't remember if they were
you
or not. You know, that was back in 1999, 2000. From Korea, I had a lot of people who were leaving like a month before me and whatnot, and we created great relationships, and some of them were going back to Fort Sill, Oklahoma. With that being said, I signed up to go back to Fort Sill, Oklahoma. So after doing my 1 year in Korea, I went back to Fort Sill, Oklahoma. I did 2 years there, because I created great relationships in Korea.
Right.
What I was in, you know, one of my orientations when I first got there, I touched down into Fort Sill, Oklahoma. You don't know where they're going to send you yet. I got work orders to go to like this, you know, battalion where, you know, you're going to shoot tanks again. You know? So I'm like, okay, whatever.
That's
and
cool.
Here comes
you know.
Staff Sergeant Smith walks in the building. He starts looking around and he's like, Dominguez, stand up. And he looks at the sergeant giving out the order. He's like, you don't belong here. I told him already. We'll talk about this later. Pulls me out the orientation room, takes me to the front office. Like, these are the wrong work orders. They took me out. They took me out and redid my work orders. And long story short, instead of me shooting tanks while I was in Fort Sill, Oklahoma, I was actually in, those who went through college to become a lieutenant and stuff like that. Once they were done with their college, they had to go to the Army. You know, they had to do their basic training. Well, I was part of that group that received them and gave them, administered their basic training and sent them to class and checked out their grades. And
so you was moved up Really? Or was it
That was one of the
side?
reasons why I left. You know, while
So
I
that
was
was
in
bad.
there, while I was in there, you know, it was great because you know I was like, wow, you know, I really had it hard. You know, hard work when I was in Korea. We really, you know, we put in work. And then when I go to Fort Sill, Oklahoma, they put me in and the battery was taking care of these lieutenants. So one of my first jobs, I was just in the office creating diplomas for them. Okay, I'll wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, get ready so I could go wake them up and make them run 6 miles. Of course, I had to run the 6 miles with them. So I started doing things that, you know, a corporal at the very least should have been the rank appointed for the duty I was taking over. So here came a point in time where I had like 2 months left in the Army. You know, it was up to me to either sign up for a couple more years or not. So they promised me sergeant. So I was like, okay, all right. Here comes the ceremony, and I'm in line ready for my rank, and the ceremony finishes, and they never called me up. So I was like,
you was heated, right?
what happened? You know, oh, somebody forgot to sign the dotted line somewhere around the line, you know, and they did it again, like 2 weeks down. No, I think like 3 weeks or a month down the road, and they forgot to sign the line.
They forgot.
So that's when I started letting my beard and my hair grow out while I was in the Army for my last year, and I just got out.
I'm out of there.
Yeah. So when I got out the Army, this is how I landed in Florida. When I was 14 years old, shout out to my aunt, Millie Fuentes. I came to vacation in Florida when I was 14, and I seen green grass. Okay.
Yes, it's green.
When I was in Puerto Rico, I was on the south side of PR. You know, I was living in like some ghetto conditions and never claimed it because I didn't know otherwise. Okay. So when I came to Florida, I seen green grass. I told my aunt, when I grow up, we moving to Florida. So when I decided to leave the Army, that was my next step. I actually moved to Avon Park, Florida. I lived in Avon Park for a couple months, and then I've been living in Sebring ever since 2002, 2003.
Okay, yeah. So along the lines, you got bit by the hip hop bug. How did that come about?
Man, it didn't even start with the hip hop bug, but great question. My whole involvement with the music started when I was young. Okay, now I already told you I went from New York to Puerto Rico, so that already I was exposed to a diverse, you know, catalog of music. I'm talking about from Michael Jackson, Lindsay Lauper, Girls Just Want to Have
Cyndi
Fun.
Lauper.
Yeah. You know, I was listening to all this house pop.
Oh yeah, that's hard.
And all this good stuff, you know. And then I go to Puerto Rico, and I'm listening to Caribbean reggae. Okay, because reggaeton didn't even exist at that very point. Some merengue, some salsa. So
you're dancing. You're on the dance.
Oh yeah. Oh yep. Shout out to my mom. You know, she taught us how to dance. You know, she was one of those wake up on Sunday and dance to the broom. And you already know how that goes. So being in Puerto Rico, I started with a little bit of poetry at the age of 13. And because I witnessed the whole reggaeton movement going on, you know, everybody was inspired by this Caribbean, you know, Jamaican sound. We started grabbing their beats and we started freestyling to this in Spanish. And then, you know, you had DJ Playero 37, you know, and then you had DJ, you know, there's a whole bunch of stuff that happened, and I was there to witness it. So I was involved with the reggaeton, a little bit of poetry first, and then it started with the whole rapping with my guys on the corners and stuff like that. This lasted all the way to high school, then to college.
So the rapping, that when you was in New York, you wasn't really rapping at that point. You was just kind of taking in the.
I was a jitterbug. It was more about the elements. It was more about the culture of hip hop. What I picked up mostly from New York, you know. People standing outside, you know, the way they were dressed, the stuff they were wearing, the music they were listening to, the boombox.
Were they breaking back then?
Oh yeah, on cardboard boxes.
Box,
oh yeah, even when it was freaking cold, you see them doing, you know, their b-boy dances and the smoke coming out their mouth.
Didn't matter.
So I picked up that culture. I went to Puerto Rico, light skin, green eyes with boots. Oh, believe me, we were fighting almost every day.
That wasn't the culture there.
No.
Yeah, just
so. No, we couldn't afford that, but we had some, you know, some boots. And
next best thing.
So that's how it started in PR. And then I got a little bit of the taste of the hip hop again when, you know, we afforded, you know, cable TV happened in Puerto Rico, and we started to watch some of the MTV videos in the basement, and you know, and also I was like, you know, connecting to my roots again. I was like, I love that, you know, the hip hop sound. And so when I joined the Army and I go to Korea, everybody's trying to remain to their roots. So everybody's buying this music, and every time you go to the club, these clubs are playing what's hot at the moment, not in Korea but in the States. So you know that's when Big Pun made his entrance, and when I heard Big Pun, I was like, you know, he's putting on for the island, but even if he wasn't just putting on for the island, regardless of what city, state, whatever he was putting on for, he was killing it. He was a bad guy with the patterns. Yeah. He was just, you know, undeniably good. And I was buying the CDs, and every time we did PT in the morning in Korea, we'll come back. They give you like an hour to get dressed and stuff like that. Within that hour on my floor, the third floor, I'll put on a Big Pun and I'll blast that. And I had soldiers from all over the place, Baton Rouge, you know, all these different states. Who's that? Like, that's Big Pun. Okay. And did Fat Joe, did he get any? I mean, they were running together. He didn't get as much. Right. He didn't seem to get as much spin as in my story. It was first on Big Pun, and then as I began to dig in, you know, into his story, you know, that's when I heard about the whole Terror Squad. But it was first, you know, I first heard about Big Pun.
Okay, he brought you in.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then of course, then you know, you had your Big and your Tupac going on.
Yeah.
And you know,
where did you sit on that? Where? Oh,
I was East Coast, you know, and
oh yeah, I forgot.
Take that how you want. I'm just being honest right now, okay? You can't blame a guy that was born in New York, and already has kind of, you know, that culture, that little taste embedded in them.
Absolutely.
And I tell everybody, I'm all about that talk shit spit, you know, that type of music. It's just that energy, kind of what I grew up in. Right. I just love that vibe that Biggie had, that nonchalant, you know, but he was good at it, you know. He had swag before the swag, you know, where it existed. He was very good at that stuff. And so I was more attracted, and that reflects some of the music when I do music today. I was more attracted to the energy and the vibe people were putting out in music. When I started getting more attracted, you know, and more involved in music, you know, I was like, I gained the respect for the actual the lyrics and stuff like that, you know, and that's when I started giving Tupac his respect. You know, it's like, okay, you cannot, it's not an easy thing to compare them. You know, it's like, because that battle could go on forever. They just right now there are two legends that deserve equal respect to me. Right.
So you rapping, you were rapping, right? Or you were you were
Puerto Rico, yes.
Yeah, you was kind of sort of freestyle. With the homies type thing.
A beast. I love that. And then once I moved to Florida, okay, and I'll be honest, I moved to Florida. I'm starting to listen to the music, and shout out to Lil Stastic, because when I moved to Florida, he was like 10 or 12 at the most, 12, 13 or whatever.
Lil Stastic.
And you know, we get in the car and listen to the radio, and I'm listening to the South Side, you know, approach to music, and I'll be in the car and I'll be getting mad, like, how many times are they going to repeat that word? You know, because back in the day, real literacy, you know, real lyrics, you know, that real powerful movement of hip hop, you know, they were very picky about being lazy in music, and there was like a whole lazy approach to the South Side, and it took me a while to get used to, but I noticed that it was easy to make happen. So that's when I decided to make my approach into hip hop, you know.
All right, okay, so when you talking about the northern New York style of doing it, you talking like who, like Wu-Tang Clan style?
yes.
Okay.
Raw,
very New York.
Patterns, they're not sloppy, and their content is on point. There's always some bars or something going on. And then when I came to the South, you know, when I first heard some of Lil Wayne stuff, you know, and I say this, and this is me being honest, but I have major respect for Lil Wayne, despite of all the, you know.
Well, what year was this?
The other stuff going on.
At what point was this again?
This is when I came to Florida.
With the Lil Wayne.
When I came to Florida, this is like 2002, 2003.
Okay. They were pretty fresh.
Yeah. And by the way, like years after that, Los Tastic, you know, started spinning some Lil Wayne back at me. This is like right before he started bringing Drake onto the, you know, the whole game, you know, Carter 2, 3, 4. And that's when I was like, you know, damn, you know, Lil Wayne does have his laziness approach to this thing, but his game is unmatchable, you know. When he really wanted to spit, he did I feel like he got lazy after he brought Drake onto the table. That's why to me, I feel like Weezy got lazy when he brought Drake onto the table. But anyways, nobody can deny that Weezy brought some intricate bars, some funny bars at that, and I'm a fan at that. You know, a little bit of humor in the music.
It took a while.
Yeah. So I got used to the whole thing, and you know, I started freestyling once in a while, and then I got into the whole. I wanted to do it myself, you know. Like, okay, let me see how far this goes. Let's get a laptop. Let's get a piano. You know, let's get some equipment.
Right.
And that's pretty much how I went from wanting to be the guy on the stage to gaining a whole. It's like I got to Universal Studios and I got so involved in one of their parks, and then you stand back and you look at the bigger picture. It's like, oh, they got 2 parks. You know, it's like. That's how I seen the whole music, the industry, the whole game. Was like, okay, you have your artists up front, up there, you know, doing the whole performing thing. But when you close the stage, you go backstage and you look at everybody who, you know, had a
part in it.
Yes, and making all that happen.
A lot of people get paid off of artists.
True that.
Right. A lot of people.
But I was more about the creative process. You know, that's when I gained the whole interest in producing. I wanted to make the beats too, because I just didn't want to spit on stuff that, you know, the beat didn't belong to me, and I had to worry about, you know, a whole bunch of other stuff. I just one of those guys. I'm impatient. I wear many hats for a reason. Is because if I really have an interest in something, I'm going after it. You know, I'm spending the time, I'm doing the research and stuff like that.
So you're just talking about music production at this point, right? Like making beats and recording.
No, a little bit of everything, because the buying the stuff to do the music production led to buying a mic, you know, and doing the whole little spitting here and there, and then that's when Los Tastic, you know, now he's a teenager, and it's like, yo, my studio skills has been building upon the years. How about you bring your little ass over here and we try something else? And man, and ever since, you know, we brought Los Tastic back into the picture, back into my life, you know, it's like he was becoming a beast. I was like, yo, bro, just spazzing out. I mean, that's a good thing. It's great. Let's slow that thing a little bit down, because Los, he's so talented and has so much to say and has so much styles and so much bars accumulated that he could spaz out. Yeah. You know, I was trying to like not mold him, you know, because that's not the term I want to use, but I was like, yo, if you would have like give them some of that sing-along stuff that people could relate to, or sing along when in the car, yo, and little by little, man, you if y'all don't know about Los Tastic, www.lostastic.com, man, go check this guy out. He has became a beast. Everybody respects him for it. We just working hard.
His own website.
You know, we just working hard so everybody can see what he has to offer. But as all that was happening, yeah, man, it came to a point in time I got a phone call from the Army. It's like, yo, you signed up for the MGI bid when you were here. We could help you with school, but you only got like 3 months before you run out of these benefits.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's when Full Sail started.
And so that kind of catapulted you into the whole behind the scenes building the brand and kind of pushing the culture forward.
And mainly because when I did come up with you know, trying to do the whole artistry thing, there was such a lack of support, you know, and I don't blame nobody for that. You know, that could have been my fault. You know, I just or I was surrounding myself by the wrong people. I was listening to the wrong advice, whatever the case may be. I just noticed that there was this lack of support, you know, and I knew about a whole bunch of other people that were wearing my same shoes, and I was like,
same thing.
You know, F this. I'm gonna create a platform myself, and that was, you know, that thought was reestablished because I first wanted to do a recording studio, but once I joined the Full Sail, and I learned a little bit more of the business aspect, you know, I figured, how about I just tackle what I felt like I could help the most, which is, you know, artist exposure, gaining that extra look, and that happened through Full Sail.
So now you come to the point where you start to build your brand, Hip Hop Everything for Real, the website.
Yes.
I've come across several people, like independent artists, people, you know, people, rappers, people like that, and I tell them about you, and I tell them about Hip Hop Everything. I say, holla at my man, he can hook you up, he can get you going. And they ask me, well, what is it? And it's like, okay, it's holla at my man. He can tell you everything.
I call these guys Patricks. They sleeping on the rocks. Under the rocks.
So hiphopeverythingforreal.com, the platform, the brand. What is it? What is it for? What do you do with it?
Hip Hop Everything, in short, is hip hop's official indie hotspot. Okay, yes, self-proclaimed, but if you take the time out and you go visit the site, you'll see what I'm talking about. I'm very invested in my brand. Okay, Hip Hop Everything right now is just a hotspot for independent artists who are trending at the moment or who deserve to reach that status to be trending. Right now, we're covering markets, not only Florida. We're blessed enough that during this journey, I've been smart enough to build some relationships throughout the way. And, we're tackling New York. We're tackling Atlanta very heavy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you can also add Boston, Massachusetts to that, and there's some other areas, but, that they just now jumping the bandwagon and starting to gain some more attention.
Mm-hmm.
But, hiphopeverythingforreal.com, started as a blog, and we going almost 3 years deep into the brand, and I seen a major demand for what I was doing to where it only made sense to go ahead and open up an internet radio station, HHE Radio.
Can we move back to the blog?
Go ahead. Yes, sir.
All right. So coming up, I blog is a word that I heard of around, I seen it on TV, but I never really seen the advantage of a blog or what can it do for you. So if I was an artist and I'm talking to you and you telling me about this blog thing, what do I need to know about it?
Okay, so the benefits of these artists nowadays getting featured on blogs is because this is just, blogs are right now like the #1 form of advertisement for independent artists. Okay. Blogs are a replacement for newspapers. They're like mini press releases, okay? And with these press releases, what we're doing every time we blog about you, not only are we reviewing your music, we're putting your music out there to the platform that we already have established. I mean, to be honest, it's just so many things that apply to being featured on a blog. For an example, your SEO, your search engine optimization. We're putting these keywords on your blog features that'll help when somebody else heard your music through our website, or or one of your other fans playing your music, and they go to search for you on the web.
It's easy to find. You come up.
You put your name in because you got so many of these blogs already talking about you. You'll be the first one to pop up on the list. There's many benefits to it. You got some artists that don't have any blog features under their belt, and get caught in that conversation in a group. You don't want to be that guy that hasn't been featured on anything, because then that's what's popping right now. These independent blogs are actually, and there's a couple out there. Okay, I mean, shout out to my affiliates, Team Bigger Ranking and Promo Vatican.
I was just about to ask you that because you said so many people talking about it. So it's not just hip hop. Everything's talking about this. You as an artist there's affiliates and other people that's also coming alongside you with that.
We have created a great network, right? So there's so many people getting involved right now. So when we do put a blog feature out there, even if it's just on Hip Hop Everything, those benefits that I just mentioned still apply. But then you get the bonus look. I put you on one of my affiliates blog sites, and these guys, and I see this. These numbers I'm about to tell you are real. On a daily basis, they're getting 2,000 hits. On a daily basis. We're in Hip Hop Everything right now, and anywhere from 1,500 to 1,800. These guys is 2,000 to 2,400 on a daily basis.
That's exposure.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And so these people, it doesn't really matter where they're located, but this is not just Florida. This is all over the United States.
That is the beauty of it being, a digital format, it being, a blog, because this could be shared to different people. And even thanks to Stable, we got people internationally from London looking at the movements we are doing, helping sharing the content and stuff like that. People from New Jersey, like I said, going back to Atlanta, there's a heavy market in Atlanta
Yeah, you've been up there a couple times.
Yeah, shout out to my folks in Atlanta, Fab Lane. You already know what it is.
Coco Yoshi crew.
Yes, the Joshi crew, King Joshi, man.
Cat in the Hat.
Before we go any further, real quick, Joshi, he put out that Goofy Juice 3 produced by Bass and Perk. You know, go to Spotify, go to hiphopeverythingforreal.com and get your fingers on that, man, because this cat is going places. You heard it here first.
That's the exclusive.
Yeah. Shout out. Oh, man, if you're going to do exclusive, you already know Stable is on the way.
He's coming down?
Stable made a huge impression in the market with his Made in Harlem Part 1. Okay?
Yeah.
I mean, because Stable is smart when it comes to the business part. He makes sure his paperwork is right. He's putting it on the right digital media stores. And, his own radio station on Pandora. He's making numbers. He's showing people these numbers. He knows how to talk. He knows how to put stuff out there. So, and with that being said, this is just a warm-up right now because Made in Harlem Part 2, I've been involved in the process, and I've been seeing, even with the, hey, Draco, I just emailed you a couple beats, listen to them and tell me which one you like. It's been like that. So I've
seen some behind the scenes on that.
Yes, it's going to be heavy. Even too, there's going to be a bonus record on Made in Harlem Part 2. Just because when we brought, Stable out to the South Market, we brought him out to Florida for the Elements Part 2. He did a performance out here and network with everybody that we already had, in the house. And that's a smart thing. It's a beauty when you connect people and they, they are smart enough to continue to build upon, these opportunities, networks, friendships, whatever the case may be. And long story short, there's going to be a bonus track on that Made in Harlem Part 2 featuring Stable.
Right,
your very own Draco, with Los Tastic, Jay Savvy, and Johnny Monsoon.
All on one song. That's one song. Is that just
no? All
the total
one song. No, all of us on one track. Like that. That's what's the bonus track. But that's going to be, this picture when he does come down to Florida and we're doing a show or showcase somewhere.
Right.
Now there's a track that we could all get up there and create memories, man. It's like, yes.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So shout out to Stable. Shout out to Primo, Tiggy Boom, Mr. Stace, the whole, Stable Music Group, Luxo, what it is, Aim High, 100 Carats, what's good? I see you guys working.
What is your other affiliation with Stable?
Great question. The whole thing with Stable, though, before we even went into the affiliation, to answer your question real quick, it's with HHE Radio. HHE Radio is brought to you by Hip Hop Everything and Stable Music Group, okay? But before that, I just received a random phone call from Stable one day. Yo, I've been watching you move. I've been watching your work, man. You have this discipline about how you move, and I see potential in what you're doing. Want to get involved? How about we do a mixtape? Blah 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 blah. And that's how we started. With him in mind is that we did the indie tape Part 1, hosted by my guy, the mixtape guru DJ Lou Money.
Right.
But he gave me that phone call one time, and ever since that one phone call, we would just continue to talk here and there and continue to build upon a relationship and knock out all these things that we said we're going to be doing. And so far, we've been doing beautifully. Even to the point where I called him one time. I was like, yo, it's been brought up to my attention that I may have the opportunity to open up my own internet radio station. He's like, I want in. Shout out to Stable. He knows I'm not lying. He's like, I want in.
That's the homie.
I even shoot you money for the monthly payment. That's one thing about that's
unusual.
A1 about Stable is business versus business. Etiquette is on point.
That's unusual. To break bread like that. They might want to be a part of it, but they ain't spending the money to do it.
This guy's a smart guy, man. I laughed too when he called me about it. Like, you are a smart gentleman. You know what, though? I respect that.
It's Stable. He built the studio.
Oh, he bought a house. He took care of our family first, right? Unbelievably, he did that and still had time to perfect his craft, build the studio, and getting ready to hit everybody with Made in Harlem Part 2.
Yeah, he's gonna sneak up behind us on that.
Yeah.
HHE, the merch game. Want to know about that?
Shout out to wifey Daisy Dominguez. She's becoming popular herself right now. They call her Mrs. Hip Hop Everything. Shout out to Coco at Fabling. I think she started that movement right there.
That's what's up.
But I'm blessed in that department right there.
You might want to buy that domain.
I'm blessed because this lady will come to me while I'm blogging or I'm listening to submissions and stuff like that. She's like, you know, look what I found. You know, she found a new idea, you know. And the whole first we started with the shirts, that was her.
Yeah.
I need a logo. Like, okay, here's the logo. And then next thing you know, we got a bag, a shirt shipped to the house. We had these little transfers. We bought a heat press and we got our, you know, our own printing game, you know, straight hustling from home. You know, then I started doing, you know, nope. And then next thing, you know, she hits me up and she's like, you know, bracelets. What you think? Wristbands. I'll bring it on. So
there we go.
We got some bracelets in the house as well. And
I got mine.
She's on point with it. So what else? T-shirts, bracelets.
You was recently telling me about the cups. We took the cups to an event and you ran out or something.
Oh no. I still have a couple, but when I went to the event, I only took so many. I mean, a decent number, okay? First, shout out to South Radius Entertainment's own Jay Savvy again and Steve Morowski from Oh My Bad. Joshi called me up. I'm doing this Goofy Juice Palooza thing, you know, another party in Atlanta. I really would love for you to be here. And that's one thing, man. We all about the hip hop support. We called him over for the Element Showcase Part 2. He came. We called him over for a Hip Hop Splash. 2016, he came. So when he called me up for that one, I was like, no excuses. I'm there. Then he asked me, you know, you gonna bring Los Tastic? And Los Tastic is just in the process of moving and landing a new job. He's like, I don't think he's gonna be able to make it. He asked me, what about Jay Savvy? I was like, you know what? Good question. Called Jay Savvy. Jay Savvy said, let's make it happen. You know, next thing you know, we had a bag with like almost 20 shirts in there. We took like 50 cups, drove to Atlanta. We got there. Shout out to Coco. You know, I told her when she pulled up on the club, I was like, there's a bag and there's, you know, there's things back there behind the DJ table. Whenever the time is right. And next thing you know, we over here, you know, getting right. And I look over and there's Coco walking around the whole dance floor, you know, with shirts on her hand and passing away merch. And everybody.
I'm a Coco fan.
Oh, yeah, everybody is. She started passing out the cups, and next thing you know, I'm seeing people who were break dancing with a different shirt. Now they break dancing with the hip hop everything merchandise. Everybody holding up cups.
That's a good look.
Shout out to my casual crooks, okay? Ricky Polo and Chase Mills. Ricky Polo is about to drop a new album EP called the Brand Awareness. So I had the invitation to go to Boca Raton recently. Okay. To be featured in his new video for a song called Pumping. Stay tuned for that one. So I brought a book bag full of cups because after the video shoot, it was promised to have a house party, which happened. And it was nice, okay, to say the least. And shout out to Bound by Blood. They both walked in a little bit late because they had to travel. You know, they're from Miami. They pulled up on Boca Raton. It's like, Draco, any more cups? I was like, brother, I just came from the bathroom. Somebody left one on the sink. I don't know you. My man, a walking conflict, came back from the bathroom. He's like, I watched this one right here. He had his new cup. So shout out to Cold-Hearted Garcia. She's still mad at me. She's like, everybody in there had a cup except me. I was like, girlfriend, look, it's my bad. You know, even these guys who got there late. No, my girlfriend showed up at 11 o'clock and she had a cup. It's like, oh my God. Trouble. So the merch is popping, to say the least.
Yeah, always have enough merch.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Question.
Talk to me.
The music industry nowadays. What is your stance on it? How do you look at it? Is it all artistry and music, or is it we need to get our lyricism back?
Yeah.
Or they're just 19-year-olds doing what 19-year-olds do, and
it's a little bit of everything you just mentioned, man. A lot of people nowadays complain a lot. You know, people cry too much nowadays. So when people complain about mumble rap, it's like, come on, guy. You know, but I do see the complaint. You know, I do see the complaint. But the way I look at it is, man, the first answering your question was like, music nowadays, I feel like is very manipulated. You know, they're playing what they want you to hear type stuff, which is the reason why I treated the underground movement close because I want to be part of that movement and help people who couldn't get that look on the mainstream, because all you hear is repetition.
Oh, yeah.
So I wanted to be one of those outlets or whatnot. But people need to stop crying about, whatever. If you really have a complaint about, then you need to start supporting the artists that do have those traits and talents that you always are, claiming, that need to bring back. People like to talk all this once in a while, but they never really
support those that are,
not a like, not a share, 99 cents for a track, little things right there, those little support, it goes a long way.
Right.
And people are not doing that. People was just sitting back on their computers and just complaining, which makes the whole thing worse than what it already is. To me, the whole old school and new school, to me, I always laughed at that whole thing. It's like, yeah, it's a thing, but then again, I always come back to the whole, then bring back the old school stuff. Start supporting it, stop buying it, or find a rapper that you like that's doing that and bring it back. But the whole mumble rap now is kind of like, that's the new argument right now. Not so much the old school and new school, because when you now listen to the mumble rap, the old school and new school is okay when you compare it to the mumble rap. It's like people are complaining about the XXL feature. It was like, it was like the highlight of the mumble rappers.
Who was on it?
Oh man, Little Yachi, right? These colorful young cats.
Right.
Even Kodak was on there, and I've heard Kodak, do some good stuff.
I seen the.
But then I also heard him, freestyling.
Is it not so much?
It's like wow, and that the wow goes to like the whole collaboration of what was going on. I know ITZ Drama was back there, kind of like it's like that. But job is the job.
Rappers. I mean, are there like more than one level of indie rapper? Are there like they call themselves indie, but they do have some type of deal or some kind of backing, and then there's
distribution deals.
There's like an indie, like a real indie artist.
Well, you have your indie artists as by mouth. They just say they're doing this, but they're not invested. They don't invest in their craft. So you have that one, and then you have those that are invested in what they do. They see the potential and they believe in their own dreams, so they actually get their paperwork right, and they pay for the videos and their photo shoots and showcases and stuff like that.
I got a little dog under my desk here, messing with my cables.
But then you also you also have some artists that do the independent thing, but they have distribution deals.
Because like the local artists, I see them and they'll come out strong. They'll come out, they'll drop a song, they'll drop a video, they'll drop another song, they'll drop a video. Then for like years, nothing. For a year is nothing. And I'm thinking that maybe life got in the way.
Like always,
life situations come up, whatever, and they have to deal with that. And they don't have the management, they don't have the A&R, they don't have the funds to stay in the lane. They have to go stop what they're doing, and I think that kind of those are the people that really need the support of the community. That, like you were saying, the support to help them get over that hump.
Right. There are outlets though out there, man, that they're not digging too deep into the pockets, but people's priorities ain't really what it's supposed to be. I mean, in this game, you really have to be serious about it. That's just what it is. You say you're a rapper and you can share stuff that you put out 5 years ago, but I mean, when we go to your SoundCloud and we see, that blank history, that no work history, is like, I mean, where you've been, we cannot take you serious. Consistency is key in this game.
Absolutely.
You have to be consistent, okay? You have to continuously, show face of some sort. I'm not saying continuously put out tracks. We just seen homie Bigger Rankin put out a video and he was like, I just been to a couple states on these little showcases. Why is everybody performing 3-4 songs? What is the record that you want these DJs to get behind you on? What should we identify you with? And made everybody think, and It's the truth.
Are they just doing like random songs?
Yeah, I mean, not random songs, but they'll go to one showcase and because these guys are just steadily dropping, you know, track after track.
Oh,
after track
okay,
after
okay.
track.
They
So
don't have
like
that
7 tracks, but they go to one showcase and they do 3, and then they go to a different showcase
they're all
and they
different.
do different 3. It's like you're not gonna stick, you know.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I got you.
When in turn, for an example, my guy Senna, you know, everywhere he goes, you know, he got that popping record called Sexercise.
Mm-hmm.
And everywhere he goes, he makes sure that, you know, hey, this is what I'm pushing right now. This is my single. This is what you want to know me for right now until I see the demand.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just one of the approaches.
Do you have as far as the artists that you deal with, do you have a top 5?
Top 5.
Mm-hmm.
I deal with many artists, right? And
Yeah.
I am that guy that is like business once, family forever, you know?
Okay.
So I kind of like my group is tight, and but they're all talented. So when you ask me top 5 right now, then of course I'm gonna spit Stable at you, right? I mean, he's just on top of his game,
of course,
right? And the next name is Jay Savvy because I've been watching him work nonstop consistently. He just gets nothing but better, and he's putting money, you know, where his mouth's at. He's really out there grinding, creating opportunities for other people to get on the bandwagon. You know, the Element Showcase Part 1 and Part 2, you know, that's with Jay Savvy. I mean, those who participate in that, you see the value in what we're trying to do, man. So
still got 3 more to go.
So I said Stable. I said Jay Savvy. Of course, you got Los Tastic. He's shout out to Grimo Cypher, right? Those around me know that Los Tastic is a beast, but once, you know, we got him on with Lingo on the Grimo Cypher, and he came to Florida. We drove to Miami, and that was a wonderful experience, man. Shout out to Lingo and the whole movement. This guy is really, really, really putting pieces together. And so he gave my guy Los Tastic a chance, man. And ever since he was featured on Grandma Cypher, you know, I see.
That was a great look.
Yeah, I see the people like, yo, who's this kid? Yo, this kid is, you know, Picasso with the words, you know. And so what? So we got Stable,
Jay Savvy,
Los Tastic. We got Los Tastic. Oh man, there's so many names right now hitting me in the face. You know, but you know what? Although I don't really deal on a first basis with this guy, he's just very talented. I gotta say, a Phenom from Chicago. Yo, you got this guy is sick. Okay, he brings a great style. His voice is impeccable. His flows are untouchable, and he's just sick with it.
Is that Phenom like PHENOM?
Yeah. Yeah. He brings that. I love reggae. Like, if you ask me what's my best genre, like for me to listen to, reggae, and he has that flavor in his hip hop. Yeah.
But is it a reggae sound, or is it just he just got that swag to it?
But yes, he got the swag to it.
Okay.
Yeah. You got me with these names, man. I don't want to hurt no feelings.
Well, let me throw a name. What about Yoshi?
Thank you. You know, like that right there, he's like, when I say my sponsored artist, you know, like I keep that guy close knitted. Like he's not only I met Joshi through my brand. I did my first freestyle battle, whatnot. He went in there and he landed the win. And ever since then, we keep in communication, and then it went to phones. And everybody knows I hate phones. So if I ever talk to you on the phone, you know you're on my good side. And not only is he so talented in creating these different stylistic styles, you know, musical styles, and being so turned up and animatic, he's a great street team persona. Like, this guy knows how the media works, knows how digital marketing works. And so I also have him on my crew. I mean, on my side.
And he's on the radio station, right?
Yeah, he's on Fab Lane. You know, every Thursday he does, you know, Powered by Hip Hop Everything, the underground session. Right. Independent artist. He does his own interviews and stuff like that. So I'm very, very proud of Joshi, man. He's one of those cats that I almost want to take a couple of his songs without asking his permission and creating like a greatest hits. And I promise you, bro, I'll take like Taco Bell, Trapping the Rap, Only in My Mind. We Don't Believe You. We Don't Believe You. Coco loves that one. Man, there's a couple tracks, man, that all the way from Goofy 1, Goofy 2, and Goofy 3. That's one thing I do have, which is why I continue to do what I'm doing. I have a great ear for this. It's almost like 99% of the time when I pitch something to somebody else, like, yo, you need to listen to this guy. Yeah. They agree with me. It's like, yo, that person is dope.
Definitely.
So yeah.
You gotta have it.
Yes. Joshi is one of those guys.
What's your pet peeve? When it comes
to talk about pet peeves.
Why not?
Man, unprofessionalism. For some odd reason, you have a lot of, and it's more on the younger side of the spectrum, but you have a lot of independent artists that they want to come off strong. They want to be hard in their music, but they bring that attitude towards the business side of things, and that is not working out. Okay, I'm talking about so unprofessional where I got people DMing me or going into my Facebook Messenger, and I mean, I'm gonna say this, and you tell me how smart this is. You're just gonna go in my inbox and drop a link.
Just sit that there, and
you just raped my inbox. Is what you just did. Like, hello. Like, there's some cats that I actually reply like, "Hello, how are you? My name is so and so. What is your name? What are you doing? Like, what do you do? What do you plan to accomplish with dropping a link in my inbox?" It's like, so those type of things, like, you can get so far. Like, everybody who I deal with is humble. Right. All these names that I've been mentioning, like, they know, they're humans, and they know how to let that go when they're talking with people, instead of, because even when I do a verse or whatever, my face goes but
different person.
They think I'm, like, he's on a bad mood. No. I can actually respectfully talk to you, carry on business, show you respect. But no, there's a lot of people that are missing that fact. They feel like their ego, their ego is so elevated, they're scared to show any professionalism. Like, it would not. Stage. Yeah, yes.
The same person they is on stage, they're the same. They're trying to be the same person in business.
And that don't work. You gotta be very hot. You gotta be so hot right now for something like that to work out in your favor. And
you're not that guy.
No. You feel me? So that's one of my tips to you guys. Besides being consistent, besides getting your paperwork done, make sure you're either signed up with BMI or ASCAP, and on top of that, sign yourself up with Sound Exchange. Besides getting your paperwork done, keep your visuals in mind. Do not be putting out music out there with 8-bit graphics. A lot of people are visualistic. They're going through the timeline. Social media has done that to everybody. Okay. And if what I see is not popping, it's not going to make my thumb click on what it is. So you need to make sure that your graphics are on point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you got that, your graphics, you got to be professional, man. You got to know how to reach out to people. It's easy to send an email to somebody and be like, hey, I'm so-and-so from this place. I'm an independent artist, and I just released a new track, and wondering if you had the time to view it and provide some feedback. That's not going to hurt nobody. I wish I had stuff like that. I'll do more freebies,
Absolutely. Just got to be humble and open about this, the back and forth conversation about it. Yeah. Instead of just throw it at you and see what happens.
Because what happens is, like, the most part in my case, it's just getting ignored. And I say that, and I'm being honest. So imagine everybody who has a blog, or you submit to them and you use that approach, you are getting ignored on a daily basis. Like, people don't appreciate that, especially if you're busy. And when we're busy over here, like, think about it. Hip Hop Everything, HHE Radio, we get about 100 submissions on a daily basis. HHE Radio, I manage the whole schedule,
Speaking of HHE Radio, you showed me a while back, but what's the numbers to that now? Do you know? The
I checked today because shout out to Creative Misfits in Orlando and Banches. They had a dope interview, and I played it on HHE Radio today from 7 to 7:50. And within their time frame, within that hour, they had close to 200 people who tuned in. And right before I checked what I had accumulated for the day, and that was like at 6:45. We were already we surpassed 1,000 listeners for the day alone. On a good month, we're doing 34K. On a slow month, we're doing 19 to 22K listeners a month. So
exposure.
Yeah, we're popping for a reason. And although I'm always humble about the stuff, but when stuff like that needs to be spoken about, this we're doing this for real, okay? We've been putting in the time in this, and it's for a reason, man. And we're just so happy to see consistency pay off in the brand, man. Everybody's loving what we're doing. You know, not only do I do this, I'm also on the road. I go support these guys. I show up to these shows. I'm turning up. You know, I was talking to Sin on the phone the other day.
Great shows also.
Yes. I was talking to Sin and I was like, yo, these guys should pay me for being, you know, hyping them up. He was like, yo, we were talking about that. Me and Truth, shout out to Truth. He's like, me and Truth were talking about that, how, you know, you choose not to act like a Jay-Z, and you're down to earth, and you mingle. That's just because I'm big on that. You know, I'm big on the whole support thing. This is one thing that I was missing back in the day, and I said no more. Shout out to my life feed who just died.
Get out of there. So with the same process that you mentioned before, send your email, a little bit of information about it, I can possibly get my music on HHE Radio.
Yes. Now, because you know the volume has tripled almost within the past year and a half, right? We now have a secure placement fee of $35 if you're really interested in getting your music out there, right? Although back in the day there was no fee to it, okay, and it was free for consideration of placement. We still have that option available, okay? Because we don't want to like close the gates. That's not, you know, we actually genuinely put on for the independent movement. But if you had something coming out now and you understand the value of pushing all these links at the same time, all these blogs, and having everybody supporting and sharing your content at the same time, and you know you really need that push, then that's when you go to, you know, the exposure package, $35. We'll put you on hiphopeverythingforreal.com. Okay, as a featured, which will show up on the main page. We'll also put you on HHE Radio. Okay, we'll throw you on the actual playlist, the whole pool, which meaning we'll guarantee you plays for a whole month on a daily basis. But even when we take you off for the month, we never take you off the actual playlist. So when I actually throw some random stuff out there, you're still getting played on HHE Radio.
That's what's up. So, and I heard you speak about you can possibly, if let's say I have like a EP, I have about 4 or 5 songs, I can possibly get my whole EP played on there.
You can. Back to the exposure package. Besides the feature getting on HHE Radio, we also do a beautiful looking email blast. Okay, going out to 2K people.
I get that.
Right, and we're also we give you brand awareness support for 2 months, which means randomly I'll go and share these links. And I say randomly because it's not going to be every day on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. No, one day I'll go and blast your stuff to Twitter. One day I'll go to Facebook, you know, on a random basis. Now, what you were just asking is, you know, for extra $5, you know, just in case you did had a mixtape or EP, like there we go. I'm not really trying to hit your pockets hard, but if you had an EP, send the 40. And instead of putting one song, we'll put your complete tape, whether it's 30 minutes or an hour, we'll put it on HHE Radio on our prime hour, which is 8 o'clock on a daily basis. So you go with that option. We'll play your EP or mixtape or album, demo, whatever the case may be, for 2 weeks. I'm sorry, for 1 week on that prime hour, 8 o'clock. And then the other week, we'll play it randomly throughout the weekends.
I've never seen that anywhere else. Nowhere else.
But you're always trying to, you know, keep it slick, but also
put on for the indie.
Yes. Absolutely. Yes.
Hit us with your social media.
Social media. You can find my personal stuff. It's Draco, okay? ITZ Draco on Twitter, on Instagram, also on Facebook. You can find Hip Hop Everything, okay? On Facebook, Hip Hop Everything for real. Okay, so facebook.com/hip hop everything for real. That's how you find us on Facebook. You'll find us on Instagram, hip hop _everything, and you'll find us on Twitter just because it's too long and it wouldn't fit. hop _everything.
It's Draco.
Yes,
On the
sir.
exclusive. I thank you for coming through, my guy.
Oh, no problem, man.
Anything else you want to get out there before we get out of here?
Always love, man. Shout out to the rest of my squad, man. I gotta give a quick shout out to DJ Phono, okay? Roundabout Records, they're doing great things. Shout out to my Black Notes affiliate, DJ Lou Money, helping me out with the Indie Tape 1, 2. Possibly we won't put out a number 3 or Yoga Flame. That's still I got something in the back burner, but I'm gonna tease you guys with that later on. Yoga Flame, I got the playlist, and that's heavy. It just is what it is, Yoga Flame, and we got some nice contenders. I'm waiting for an opportunity to where when I put you guys out there, you have a bigger outlet. Of course, Creative Misfits in Orlando, One Known, Lyrical Relief. Shout out to Senna, man. I see you, brother, and I appreciate you introducing me to Wolf. Wolf, we're gonna do some big things, man. We're gonna line up some things in the future, man. I got some big dreams. We want to do, Hip Hop Everything magazine. We want to do a Hip Hop Everything tour. Possibly get HHE radio on some satellite radio. Those are some of the next up and coming moves that that I have in my target. But for the meantime, man, we just building relationships, having fun with the platform. Shout out to Team Bigger Ranking, especially Kingpin, man. We talked a little bit, and when I pitched the idea, I told him, man, I've been looking up to the moves you make, and whenever I could get deeply involved with your brand, you holler at me. He said, I'll be honored to have you as an affiliate. So much respect, big guy. So that happened there. Stable, what's coming out. That bonus track is going to be sick, but I already know your piece of work for that one is going to be dope. And shout out to Showcase, man, from Capital Class Studios over there in Massachusetts. He just got featured on XXL magazine.
Okay. Yeah.
And he kept the love alive, man. He remembered a couple things I did for him when, he was on the come up, and he made sure he gave Hip Hop Everything and your boy Draco a shout out on the magazine XXL. So
looks great on the resume.
Yeah, man. Shout out to every man. This is just what it is, man. Getting out there, showing face, actually putting money where your mouth is at, and building some relationships. That's what we all about. Good business, though. Gotta be good business.
Absolutely. Appreciate you, guy. Thanks for coming through.
No problem. It was a lovely thing.
That's the exclusive. Y'all be blessed.
One, two. Stop the broadcast.